Are you caught in a cycle of suffering? What is a cycle of suffering? It is a prolonged cycle of seemingly inescapable suffering. It could be physical suffering, external or internal. It could be mental, emotional. It could be a relationship, a job. It could last months, weeks, months, years, decades. I've been caught in many cycles of suffering. It could be a cycle of thought you can't escape. You can't find the answers you are looking for to escape these cycles. You think they're seemingly going to go on forever. And many of us are caught in these cycles or have been caught in these cycles. So how do we escape our cycles of suffering? Presence, purification, and God's love. These are the foundations. And achieving a state of peace and balance. We want to facilitate a state of peace. This is going to bring us balance and allow us to further pursue presence and purification and God's love. All of this works together. So this is how we escape the cycles of suffering. We have to remove the aggravators. What are the aggravators? These are things that aggravate our mind. These are things that send us into states of chaos, mentally, emotionally, physically. This can be acids, can be aggravators. It can be a chemistry can be an aggravator, right? There's many different things. So if we want to escape these cycles of suffering, we have to achieve a state of balance. So we have to remove these things that are causing us chaos, and we have to replace them with peaceful things. We have to facilitate a peaceful state. So we remove the aggravators. We work toward balance. We purify the body, because many of the aggravators and many of our imbalances come from our chemical makeup and our imbalance. We are very far removed from homeostasis because of the toxic food program. So when we find ourselves caught in these seemingly endless cycles of suffering, know that there is a way out. And we have to focus on the eternal present moment of God's love, because that is where the divine is, and that is where we will be set free. And when we focus on the present moment, the divine can work through us and can show us the way. This is how we receive divine messages. A lot of times we cannot receive these messages the divine is trying to send us because we inadvertently block them through the programming of eating the wrong foods and taking in all these aggravators and creating a mind full of chaos and fear and anger and violence. All of these things prevent us from receiving the divine messages that are meant to show us the way. What is the way? The way is presence, purification, and God's love, surrendering to God. Because in the present moment, we are surrendering to God. And remember, another very important foundational aspect of escaping our cycles of suffering is standing in the center of the circle. What does it mean to stand in the center of the circle? It means to be the observer and not be attached to anything, not think we're somebody doing something, not be attached to this person, this body, this name, this job, this house, etc. Because when we are attached, we are in a trap. When we are identifying with the ego, the actor, we're in a trap. Because we are held at lower perspectives. When we identify with the game, with the illusion, we are held in lower perspectives. When we stand in the center of the circle, there is no place left for the ego to run, no place left for the ego to hide. This makes us the loving observer. This gives us a higher perspective. We must keep stepping back farther and farther until we're in the center of the circle and we can see it all. We're not judging. We're not attached. We're not biased. We are simply just observing. And this will raise our perspective and allow us to escape the cycles of suffering. Namaste.